Do it. Okay, why isn't that showing? Media assets, come on. We're not live yet. Okay, here we go. Where's my intro video? All right, here we go. There we go. I'm losing it here. Okay, everybody, we're live. We're going to do an intro video here in a second. You're all going to have, there we go. There we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Listener discretion advised.
Fuck it. Free speech, motherfucker.
Podcast presents information based on theory and conjecture. The creator's purpose is to suggest some possible explanation, but not necessarily the only ones to the mysteries we will examine. Remember, everything that you hear from this podcast comes from sources on the internet, and remember, if it's on the internet, it should be taken with a grain of salt and judge it by your own discretion.
That there was something wrong with the world, the perception led you to research and ask questions, and those questions led you to answers which led you here, to this small pocket dimension in the dark corner of the multiverse. Welcome to the Of Dark Matters podcast, where we discuss topics of the occult, conspiracy, paranormal, and world news. And now, your hosts, MoJoE the Mad and Dr.Clutch.
Dr. Clutch.
Good evening. Good evening. Tonight's destination lies somewhere beyond the boundaries of ordinary experience. Not a place found on any map, nor a location recognized by any government, scientific institution, or religious authority. It exists instead in that uncertain territory where questions outnumber answers, and where curiosity often proves stronger than caution. Perhaps you've visited this territory before. Perhaps it began with a newspaper article that didn't quite add up. A photograph, a whispered story, a strange light crossing a midnight sky, a feeling that beneath the surface of accepted reality there remained something unfinished. Some missing page in the instruction manual of existence. And so you searched. You followed rumors into forgotten archives, traced mysteries through ancient civilizations, examined reports dismissed by the experts, and testimony ridiculed by skeptics. You listened to the static between official explanations, and somewhere along the way, the static seemed to answer. The journey eventually leads here, to a small broadcasting station suspended at the edge of certainty. A place illuminated by flickering neon, glowing vacuum tubes, and the stubborn refusal to stop asking dangerous questions. A place where the unexplained is not dismissed, merely placed under observation. Here, a conspiracy may simply be history, awaiting documentation. The occult becomes less a collection of superstitions and more a set of instructions whose purpose remains unknown. The paranormal sits quietly in the corner, patient and unconcerned, waiting for science to catch up. And the daily headlines, perhaps they are not the story at all, but only symptoms, warning lights blinking on the dashboard of civilization. Tonight, We will examine hidden programs, unexplained visitors, ancient mysteries, impossible encounters, and realities that may not be nearly as solid as they appear. We will consider the possibility that some doors were never meant to be opened, and the possibility that some doors have already been opened for us. So settle in, dim the lights, and keep one eye on the shadows, because for the next little while, we will venture into a region beyond conventional explanation, a place where the signal grows weak, certainty becomes elusive, and the truth, if it exists at all, may prove stranger than anyone is prepared to imagine. Welcome to the Of Dark Matters podcast. And tonight, our journey includes a fellow traveler, a man named John Kiehl, by profession a master electrician whose work has carried him through some of the most complex machinery of the modern age, from nuclear power facilities and the oil fields of Western Canada to the construction of attractions bearing names familiar to millions, Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy. A man accustomed to circuits, systems, and the practical laws governing the physical world, but like many who spend their lives studying one form of energy, Mr. Kiehl eventually found himself confronted by another. In 2006, following a period of sobriety, prayer, and meditation, he experienced what is commonly described as a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, an event that would redirect his attention toward questions not easily measured by instruments or explained by conventional models. Today, from his home in the Green Mountain state of Vermont, he continues an exploration that occupies a curious intersection between spirituality, consciousness, ritual practice, and the possibility of contact with intelligences that may exist beyond the boundaries of ordinary perception. Whether these experiences represent hidden dimensions of the human mind, unseen aspects of reality, or something else entirely, remains a matter of investigation. And investigation is precisely why we're here. So for the next little while, we'll compare notes with a man who has spent time examining both the visible wiring of the world and the invisible currents that may flow beneath it. Our guest tonight is John Kiehl, and his story begins where certainty ends.
And here in a moment, before we bring John Kiehl in, once again, that was Dr.Clutch. And yes, a great honor to have John Kiehl here. The audience is liking this a lot. You can see it right now. See you out there, Chewbacca. I see you out there. So before we get started, we're going to go ahead and do a little segment that we like to call, How Was Your Week? Yes, this is a little segment where we go and reminisce about what we did before, after, and whatever we were thinking during the last show that we passed. It's been a week. Dr. Clutch, how was your week, sir?
Simply amazing. My condominium project, the kitchen and living room, is being reconstructed. It's about 98% complete. They put in some temporary cabinet doors that will be replaced in a couple weeks. They put in the wrong ones and offered me a discount, and I declined because the guy wants what he wants. I wanted flat cabinet doors, not shaker cabinet doors. So that happened, and that's exciting, and I'm beginning the slow process of the beginning of the rest of my life, of moving all my stuff back in to my condo, so I get all my problems back. That happened, and then went water skiing yesterday morning, and it was our boat driver's last day for a while. She is moving to Los Angeles for about a year, and we gave her some gifts, some parting gifts, and I had some fantastic luck with AI designing a design that was printed on a T-shirt. So one of the guys on the team, his wife bought like an everything printer that prints onto mugs, T-shirts, bags, whatever. And so I had AI come up with a design. I guess her favorite animal is the cheetah, similar to Chester Cheetah from Cheetos. So I took it upon myself to command AI to create a cheetah on a trick ski doing a flip with a jump in the background. And it looked bitchin'. It looked like super bitchin'. Like when I presented the design, everybody was like, holy shit, it's magic! And so that got printed on a T-shirt and a bag, and then I had a supplemental design that had the girl's name on it with a cheetah face and another picture of a trick ski and a rope handle, and it was pretty sweet. So that all happened. AI magic happened. How was your week? Should we go to Mr.
let's
Kieh?
go to John. Yeah, let's go to Mr.
Okay.
Kiehl. Mr. Kiehl, how was your week?
Hey guys, I had a good week. Was able to get out for a couple motorcycle rides, so that was nice. Take advantage of the good weather here in the Northeast in Vermont. It's been a long, cold winter and a very short spring, so it was much appreciated. Sunny weather finally. Out of the cave.
Nice. How long is the winter in Vermont?
So it's really about 6 months, but it's also a bit unpredictable. When I first moved back in 2019, it was a very mild winter, but the past two winters have been like consistent with memories of childhood, where it was just tons of snow, no sunlight, and really cold. They can
Sounds like a
drive
nice place to visit, but it'd be tough to live there.
Yeah, exactly. It's summer, and our spring and fall have really. It feels like they've diminished. We've got like maybe 2 or 3 weeks of fall and spring, and it just goes from one extreme to the other.
So you're like bi-seasonal. You just get winter and summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest is like no summer, no winter. You just get spring and fall. Spring-fall.
And I'd have to disagree with that, because we've had some pretty
Spokane's
roasty,
lower
toasty weather. Yeah. It's been as high as 113 out here. Yeah.
Whoa.
Where I could smell the sap off the trees, and the trees were screaming and dying because it was so hot that you could.
113 is pretty fucking hot.
Yeah, probably with high humidity too, right?
Yes, I would
You
say
get
there
humidity?
is.
Okay.
We got the humidity out here. Yes, we go from. Well, today's 60 degrees, but the last 2 days it's been warm. Thunder and lightning. The old gods of the north are hammering their hammers upon the clouds. Yes. Thunder and lightning. A whole section just south of us has had no power for a little while. That sucks. And, my week has been work. Watching a new show with my wife called Citadel, which is really interesting. And then catching up, Spider-Man Noir, which doesn't feel too noir. There's something wrong about it, although I do like Nicolas Cage.
Spider-Man Noir?
Yeah, it's like he's kind of got a Humphrey Bogart thing going for him with being a private dick, but also being Spider-Man. Yeah.
I don't know. This is the Citadel show, or is that something else?
No, that's another show. That was a show that I just randomly put on, like sometimes,
Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, Spider-Man Noir, but it's lacking because it's Marvel and Sony, so therefore. Just another show. Just another show to watch the time go by. Yeah. I've been doing the best I can. Trying to work all these little inconsistent, so this is what happened, Clutch. Just before you gone, we had our first smelting accident. Yes, we did.
We had a smelting accident?
Yes, the crowd understands. Yeah. First smelting accident. So basically I had the assets go on, but didn't have our intro video. So I basically, we're live! And I had to go back and find the intro video. So there you go. Yeah. Crowd is laughing that one. Yeah. They're giving me an applause.
Yeah.
Says I have, I'm a rocket surgeon. I don't just play one on TV. Right? So, just it's mundane. It's either hot or really cold. I'm needing to go camping into the woods soon. If I don't, I'm going to lose my damn mind. I can feel the energies of the city and its madness designed to make you go insane. If it's not the city itself, it's just the air of wherever you go feels like the apocalypse, especially if you go into a retail establishment now. Just, ever since the pandemic, or plandemic as they say, I've been feeling that, There's dead malls, I don't think everyone was really all that happy, but at least up here, but, it seems less so now. And I'm just looking forward to going out to the woods when I can go out into nature and do my thing as soon as possible. Just need 2 days. No cell phones.
No cell phones?
No technology.
Possible?
Nothing.
Is
Yes.
that possible? I don't believe
yes.
it. I'll believe
yes,
it when I see it.
Over at
Or
Skookum
don't see
Lake,
it.
where the Bigfoots go and they start to walk and quake. It is Skookum Lake.
So how long, if you do this non-technology venture, how long would you be out there for?
I'd like to go out there for longer, but I gotta work. So
2 days
I
no
would go
phone
2 or 3 days. Yeah. I'm with my mind, with myself. Now Silva, my wife, is starting to get interested in going camping, so we might go and buy. There's a discount store up here that sells all the stuff at Costco at discount. So there's like a $300 10-man tent. Yes, it's not just a
10-man
tent. It's a house and an investment. Yeah, 10-man tent. And I could get it for $150 at Spokane discount. Yep. And I'm going to get one. 10-man tent.
Sweet.
I promised myself this year that I wouldn't take every single piece of survival gear with me that I didn't really need or ever really use. So it's about scaling back. It's about just going out in the woods, having a weird experience.
So you, your wife, and a big-ass Sasquatch can fit in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. And then I got another friend that we might be interviewing here later on, but he wants to go too. And then my friend also bought property on the Idaho National Forest. And it's like, we're talking, like the other place has a toilet. This place is primitive. I like primitive camping personally. I like being able to pick up my trash and get the hell out of there and actually be around. But I think it scares my wife because there was rumors of cougars and mountain lions and bears. Oh my! And she's all, what am I supposed to do if we're the only two out there and there's a mountain lion? Well, I don't have a shotgun. So there's that. I have bear mace. I have a crossbow. Getting medieval.
Yeah.
So everybody, that was our how was our week moment. A little bit here and there. But let's get into the interview stinger, and we'll get into John Kiehl here. All right. So here we go. For everyone that's listening to this is the interview part of our show. Here we go. Play.
Welcome to the Of Dark Matters special guest interview.
Yes, the crowd loves that.
Very nice.
This is one of many interviews we're going to be doing on this show. Not only do we just do the news or talk about anything that comes on the air, but sometimes we have people that we find interesting. And John Kiehl is one of those gentlemen that we'd like to have on our show, and he said yes! So enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Crowd loves that one. Yeah. Simmer down. We'll let welcome John Kiehl to the show. Thank you. We got videos. We got some interesting stuff. So, do you want to take away the first question there, Clutch?
Yeah. So my questions are. Well, I like to start at the beginning. We were talking before the show, and he alluded to an angelic encounter. But I was wondering. So MoJoE had said that there were other paranormal experiences that you have experienced, and I'm wondering what was your earliest weird supernatural paranormal thing that happened to you that kind of got you thinking that things were a little different?
So when I was a kid, I think I was like, I was young. I think I was 4 or 5, and the folks had a cottage on the lake, and my grandmother had a house up the street, and I was staying there, but it was like 3/4 of a mile away. They were having a big old party down at the cottage, and I was up at grandma's, and laying in bed. I remember seeing it was like a little, flying out of the cabinet was a little elfin creature on a horse with a little chariot, and it was glowing, and it was just coming towards me through the air. It was like about the size of a toy truck, and that always stayed with me, how vivid it was. It scared me. I remember I ran out and ran through the woods down to the party. But that was the first one that I can remember, and things didn't really start ramping up. I mean, I had outer body experiences when I was a teenager, those types of things. A feeling of presences and other things like that, but it really didn't start ramping up for me until I was much older.
Like 40s or 30s, or like what? How much older?
So in my 30s, I don't know if this is would qualify as being in the paranormal nature. I mean, I guess aspects of it are, because it really can open up your third eye. But I got into meditation and prayer. This would be 2005. I really got into it heavily, and about 9 months into it, saying a mantra, which actually, so this is, it's just, I didn't grow up with any religion, but I learned how to say the rosary, of all things, which was, tonal in its own
Rosary.
aspect.
So that's a Catholic thing. Are you?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself Catholic?
I'm not Catholic. But I was saying it, and my legs kicked out, and as you guys spoke about, I'm an electrician, and it felt like I was being electrocuted, but it was with like it's an inner electricity that it feels like a liquid light. But the reason why it feels like you're being electrocuted is it works through your chakras. It constricts your muscles, and it makes you do funny body movements, at least in the beginning, which I believe are called kriyas. I may be wrong, but you look like someone else is looking at you, like possibly like you have Tourette's. You look really wacky. As and it took me a while to figure out actually what was occurring.
So you were having an experience experience doing the rosary.
Yeah, I was in the kneeling position, and in my root chakra is, you could feel the tingling, and then it worked its way up. However high it went that initial time, I'm not quite sure. It wasn't all the way to my crown chakra instantly, but eventually it did go there.
Now, as this happened, was this something that freaked you out, or were you thinking maybe you should snap out of it and stop this from progressing? Or
Great question, man. No, I knew that it wasn't bad because I was literally praying and meditating, and like rosary is kind of like a mantra, doing both at the same time. So I knew I just had this instinctive feeling that it wasn't bad, and it did coincide with the some hardship. My wife, who I explained to you earlier, we're now divorced, but at the time she had just given birth to our second daughter, and she had gotten postpartum and had a suicide attempt.
a suicide attempt?
Yeah. So she ended up in the psych ward for about 3 weeks, but she had to be incubated, to take everything that she had ingested out, and so it was during this time period, which also, from what I've read and heard, and I'm sure you guys have too, with some traumatic experiences, can help open up, and insinuate an awakening, and this just happened to be the Kundalini. For me, it goes by many names, but yeah. So that was, and I don't know if this qualifies for maybe somewhat for being paranormal, but it's just because it can open up your spidey senses, right, for that world.
Yeah, I would say it's paranormal, supernatural in a way, because it's it qualifies. I mean, it's not it's more like a personal supernatural event, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
So this happened with a rosary. Now you said you're not Catholic. Do you consider yourself Christian, or were you?
Another great question. So I have I'll say this right out of the gate. I don't believe in dogma.
Okay.
However, I think I fall into an oddball, not quite Gnostic, but like it's my own deal, man. Like I believe that there's, from my experience, there's so many roads, and all of them are just as full of grace as others. But I do believe in the Christ. I just I don't believe in that's the only way, and all the dogma, and I have a personal relationship with that, if that makes any kind of sense.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's an ongoing personal relationship at this point, would you say, or?
Yeah. Like I would search for books. Like one I remember was titled "Magical Christianity," and I would try to blend this, because I also had been sober for a while during this period, and for a long time during this stretch, and I had a interesting experience doing a confession. which was like, uh,
Like a Catholic confession?
yeah. So in this fellowship I belong to, it's like one of these things you do is you have you basically make a review of your life and where you went wrong and any kind of things that may keep you living in the past, regrets, that type of thing, shame, guilt. And I had a laundry list, and the gentleman I was going to read this to wasn't available, and like I really didn't want to drink, and I was seeing red, and I walked by this church, and it happened to be open, and it happened to be the day they were doing confession, and it just happened to be the Catholic church, and I walked in,
like
and
synchronicity.
yeah, man, I did a confession with this guy. He was one of the he was a true guy. He wasn't one of the bad apples, that you wouldn't want your kids going camping with. He was a great guy. Father Ball, he's dead now. He was probably 75 when I did this, and I was probably my mid 30s. But I remember, red light, green light, and green light you enter. And because I was in there so long, there was like little old ladies banging on the door, trying to make sure he was okay, or maybe they just want to get in there. I don't know.
So you had quite a laundry list if people were banging on the door. Like,
Yeah,
hey, I'm just here
so
for my
I had
weekly
that
confession. You can't spill 5 years.
Yeah, you're interrupting my weekly confession. Yeah, I'm going over like 25 years of garbage,
Oh God, yeah.
And but the reason I bring that up is so that was like my first step of awakening, realizing that there was something bigger than myself that actually gave a shit. And then I had the Kundalini, about 9 months later, came knocking on my door, and that has stayed with me ever since. But I had to blend, all these things, because no one in those, so quote Christian circles that would call it demonic or like. I found a guy. Oh, what is his name? Who was a former. I don't know if he was actually something to do in the Catholic Church, but he had, and he had this website back in the early days called Shalom Place for spiritual emergencies. But he had a really big Kundalini awakening, and it was good. I can't believe I can't remember his name, but I got in contact with him, and then I met another guy, this lawyer in Florida, who he did some time. It's the synchronicities, right? He had a Kundalini awakening, doing the same step in the same program, getting sober. He had gone away to prison for selling drugs in college, and then like he ended up becoming a lawyer when he got out, like really successful personal injury lawyer. But
that's interesting.
Yeah,
quite a transition.
I found him and Jimmy Fassig. There you go. Yeah, he's a good guy, and we've kept in touch over the years. But so those were the parts of the steps in the process, and then I the thing with the energy is, like, especially the Kundalini, is I ended up ignoring it years later. Life got busy, and I ignored my spiritual welfare, if you would. And they call it like being snake bit and Kundalini psychosis. You can even go into, and it refuses to be ignored, and it's going to come a knocking. And
that's interesting. So what is Kundalini? So you have a Kundalini experience, and then you sort of ignore it for some time because you're not sure what to do with it, or what happens to you, or what is what do they say happens to you after the experience? Like what are like the, I guess, the spiritual benefit of the Kundalini experience?
That's a great question, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions with it when it happens to someone. Um, First of all, some people get carried away and think that they've, like, now had an ego death, and like they're like, enlightened and should be floating down the street, and
So you weren't floating?
I wasn't floating, man. I was far from it.
Oh.
I began to have some good experiences, like in meditation. I would, in a dark room, when I'd be meditating, and the Kundalini would be, firing big time, and I would, it would be like someone was holding a purple blue flashlight, to your, like, right in front of your eyes, while you're with your eyes closed. That's what it looked like, but it was an inner light. And I think it coincided to the color of the crown chakra, actually. So I stayed with it for quite some time, but then, like a couple more years. But life got busy, and there was problems in the marriage that kept on popping up, and two young daughters, and I was a sole breadwinner, and I just I lost track, just between work and my free time, trying to build the house that felt like it just kept on being torn down. I had my cup was full, and I would have benefited tremendously, I think, at that time, had I stayed with it, but I didn't. I tried to tackle everything solely by willpower, and it wasn't going well.
They say willpower has limitations. So you sort of ignored this experience, and then later you said the experience won't be ignored. What happens as it's no longer ignored?
Okay. So the first thing that happened was, I'm in, and I bring this up because it all came at me from every angle all at once. And this was, fast forward now to, I think, 2014, in Bakersfield, California, and I'm working behind a used car lot, doing a side job on the weekend, and it's a bright sunny day. I'm on a ladder, working on a photo eye, and I get the strong inclination to look up. So I look up, and there isn't any air traffic or clouds in the sky. So I'm guessing somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 feet, just because of the detail I got out of it. But so imagine, this is a rectangle, of course, but imagine a cube on its axis, just slowly rotating, and like that, about that speed. But it had metallic glass like sides to it, so every angle there'd be a flash as it was rotating, and the sun was hitting the angles. And I'm staring at this for about 15 seconds, and then boom, this huge car accident happens across the street. So, there's this cube above me, and this huge car accident just happened, and like I shimmy down the ladder, and I'm more interested at the time in telling the people involved in the car accident that there's this cube, rotating.
So this cube is like a UFO, UAP type thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And it's a good thing I didn't make it across the street, because I don't know if they were seeing the same thing, I never made
like-
it across the street.
Oh wow! So like they
Before.
could have seen the same thing, and that's how they got in a car accident or something.
Maybe the cube was there protecting someone involved in the car accident. It could be one of a bunch of things. Although I know it was intended for me to see it. That was. I think that those experiences, they're not just. Most of them aren't just like happenstance. They're intended for you as part of this. In my venture, part of this awakening process.
Cubes are sometimes associated with the planet Saturn. We have a South Osman in our chat, and he said he's suggesting that this cube is like Saturn energy. Have you heard of the association with the cube and the planet Saturn at all? Or?
Wow. That's the first time I've heard that. So that's very interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Saturn is like the ruler of time and also like the god of weights and measures, and also sort of an agricultural deity. But he's also associated with the death and the Grim Reaper. But it's I think as far as being the god of time, it's like how they say time rules us all. Nobody gets out of time. So, yeah.
Yeah, wild. I see that Oz wrote the numbers 333 and 444. Yeah, it's funny. My father's birthday was 4444.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I would see those numbers, especially the fours, all the time. And I know the cube is also, I believe, related to the cubic form, possibly Metatron.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that was and then from there on, it just the outer body experiences that I had as a teenager really started kicking in.
So you still have out of body experiences to this day, like at night?
Not too often today, but at that particular time period, when I do, I absolutely love them when they happen. But this was like I said, everything just came really, really strong at a period of this. Well, it still is strong, so I shouldn't say that. But in Bakersfield, I can remember it feel like you'd be going through like a wormhole, and you would see all these stars flying by as you're going through it. That happened a few times, and then things really kicked off even more when we moved to the coast, to Orange County.
South Osman asks if whether or not you heard a train sound or a jackhammer sound at all during the out-of-body experience.
Yeah, the train sound.
The train sound.
A few times, actually, that's happened. Yeah.
Huh. Oz says apparently that is a common sound to hear accompanying the experience.
Well, we got some videos here that you filmed with your CE5 experiences. Would you like to talk a little bit about them? I think we can talk as I bring these videos up.
Sure.
Unfortunately, the dates, I'm hoping I got them in chronological order. You can if you can to go by memory, like this was this date or whatever, if you want, or if not, I had to do some last minute editing, everybody, because the Oops, there goes Clutch, not saying anything. It was me. I had to do some editing, ladies and gentlemen, because the censorship here on YouTube, they're not going to let me play any music, and he likes to. John likes to accompany with music. But let's go ahead and check this out real quick. We're going to go ahead and do. We're going to add this to the stage real quick, and hopefully we got some video here.
So you can
so
see
what
the.
do we, yeah.
You'll see the orb flashing towards the center of the pan of the screen, like right there. It just falls.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So that's fairly common of a good CE5 night. And I've been doing this for long enough that when it's the real deal. That's not air traffic. It's not a satellite.
So CE5, just for people that aren't aware, that might be newbies to the supernatural, paranormal, and ufology. Do you want to explain that real quick?
Sure. So CE5 is a method of contacting NHI, non-human intelligences. However, there's a lot of conjecture involved in this arena as far as what you're actually contacting. I think that there's a wide berth of things that are going on. A lot of this, certainly some of this, is, I believe, angelic in nature. And certainly there's the component of actual extraterrestrials, ultra terrestrials, interdimensionals, time travelers, just about everything you could probably possibly think of. So the only the hands down experience that I have with knowing that at least a component of what I've been contacting with is angelic, and that was made abundantly clear to me in a series of 2 nights. But with actual what you would call craft involved as well. However, I'm not going to. Sometimes some people have experiences, and like, say, if someone had an experience with a gray alien, or a Nordic being, or something like that. That sometimes it seems like, and I try not to go there myself too. Sometimes you can call the whole thing, this is what it is, hands down, this is what it is. But I don't think it's fair to do that. All I can say is that I believe today in basically all of it, and I can concretely identify a few experiences as being angelic in nature. And then, of course, when my phone was taken over, the images that were shown were of ETs. So there's that could be going on with CE5 as well. And I don't mean to sidetrack, but I just wanted to get that out of the air. So CE5, Human Initiated Contact, is essentially, you don't have to do it this way, but it's certainly more it's a real cool experience with your eyes and your heart and being. But by doing it at night outside, it's nice to get out underneath a blanket of stars and just gaze at the cosmos, as you guys can relate anyway. So it's like a fringe benefit when you're out there doing a CE5, and you're there's various ways. Some people have, like, Dr. Stephen Greer came up with like this protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think those are good to do, but like kind of like a magical practices and stuff. I think you find out what works for you, and you roll with it, and you develop this relationship after a time, and they will they'll respond, and sometimes it feels like you need to be in this zen spot, it really living in the present moment for it to happen, and you think that I would start believing the belief that I'm making this happen, when in fact I don't think so, man. I think that it's good when you're first trying to make contact to use these protocols and to try to introduce yourself, but in my situation, it was kind of like tag, you're it. They made their introduction, first, and then I just and I say about the protocols is like sometimes I'll just go out and I'm just listening to tunes, and then they'll show. But maybe I'm able to get to that state by listening to the music as well. But many times I'll say mantras, just to get into that meditative state. And another thing that happens is ever since the angelic encounter, when I look at a star, I'll set up my tripod and I'll set it in one segment of the sky, right, and I'll center around a bright star, but this got took a little while to get used to. But after the angelic encounter, any star I look at for more than 4 seconds, it will start to move around in really distinctful movements, and it will move all the way to the right of my peripheral vision, then it will go all the way to the left, and then start zigzagging around. Clearly the star isn't moving, it's just the light in my consciousness, and somehow, some way, I don't know, I have some hunches why, but that's how it'll appear to my eyes. So I'm getting a show, even if they don't show up. I'm already like enjoying what's happening with looking at a star. But it's like, maybe there's some quantum entanglement beacon involved with that. I don't know.
Interesting.
It looks like if you look at like angelic script, that's what the star movements, if I could put it on paper, sometimes would look like. So I don't know.
Well, we got another video here. This is one that I had to name Video 2. Okay, so here's Video 2. We're going to play that right now. Take a look at what's going on here, and maybe you can tell me what we're looking at.
Blink there.
Okay.
There's another blink.
Yeah. So that is a that's another orb.
Okay.
It's interesting you're able to capture these. A lot of people will struggle to get anything on film.
Well, I took some of my California unemployment COVID money and bought a really, really nice, night vision monocular that does
nice
infrared and night vision, and like I said, it's I'll set it up at this one. The tripod is already set up looking there, and then many times I probably did it here. I'll pick up the tripod so I can zoom in a little closer. That's why maybe the shaking was there.
Dave Paulides, if you're familiar with him, he recommends a night vision monocular type thing, and he says like if you spend enough money, you will see something.
Yeah, that's David Paulides. Yeah, it's I had an interesting experience in California again. where I was receiving messages on my radio screen while driving. I could ask a question and it would flash 3 times. And I know he talks about people being found in the federal parks without their cell phone, and
Mm-hmm.
I literally said, "Let's meet," and it flashes, "No phone, federal plan, federal land, no police," 3 times. I'm like, what? Yeah. And then MoJoE, you crack up with this one too. I'm like, what do you want me to do? It says make magic, make magic, make magic.
Yes.
3
Yes.
times, right?
Are you sure
Yes.
that wasn't was it the CIA?
Well, dude, this is gonna trip you out. The next 3 things, okay, but just bear with me because it wasn't the CIA sending me messages. The next 3 things that followed that was make magic, CIA secret agent man, okay, but hold on. I know it sounds comical, like something out of like
This is showing up on your phone, or what?
no, on my radio.
On your radio,
Yeah,
like a radio display,
radio display while driving in the desert,
like a car radio display.
Car radio display, and
weird.
There's a. I was gonna tell you you guys should get him on your show. Dr. John DeSalva. So he wrote all these books on the Enochian. I don't know if you guys pronounce it Enochian. Some people
I
pronounce
say
it
Enochian.
Enochian magic. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's by John D. Yeah, it was. He
wrote
by
a bunch of books on Enochian magic, but he goes by Secret Agent Man. Okay, and he used to have ties with the CIA. So I think that's what. And eventually, I got his books. So maybe it was leading me down that path because it also said, "Where do you want me to live?" And it flashed Riverside 3 times, and I ended up moving to Riverside. And then the last thing it did, I didn't ask a question. It flashed, I can't take my eyes off of you. I can't take my eyes off of you. I can't take my eyes off of you.
Weird.
Yeah.
Which, today, I mean, at the time I was pretty lost, so maybe that's what that was about, man, I strayed too far. I don't know. But
like lost enough to listen to anything, or
yeah.
Very interesting. Well, earlier before the show when we were talking, you'd mentioned you'd had some angelic encounters. And when people say angelic encounters, I automatically kind of think of the fairy in the Pinocchio cartoon. It just sort of appears. It's beautiful. Is that what you saw? Or what is an angelic encounter?
So the backstory of that and I remember telling you, and MoJoE was off for a little bit, but my ex-wife, had really like unaddressed problems with rage and depression, and I was working at Star Wars at the time, and she locked herself in the bedroom, and she'd come out just to like. Occasionally to terrorize, she was like, she'd gotten into like one of those energy vampire, like it was like she was possessed, man. It like she got off on inflicting fear and pain, and when she was in this state, which was too frequent, and so it was like living with 2 different people because she was a beautiful human being when she wasn't in this state, but unfortunately, this other state was 60 to 70% of the time, and this particular time was really bad, and it was really affecting my daughter. It was 11 at the time, my youngest, and So she attacked me, man, and I'm just waiting for her to get off me, and my daughter's screaming, and she finally lets go, and I grab my daughter and move to my sister's house. I have one sibling who lives in Costa Mesa, and I spent a couple hours calming my daughter down, and now I got to go get a hotel room, and she's going to spend the night at my sister's with her kids, and it's dark out, and I'm walking back to the car, and much like the inclination I had when I was doing the side job to look at the cube, I get the inclination to look back at the house, and I'm only 20 feet away, but hovering above the 3 feet above the house, imagine super bright white. Imagine just the torso, okay, the torso of what you would think would be a body, and it tapers down, to a point by the toes, almost like a caterpillar's, central section.
Okay.
And then super, super bright with brighter lines of white light going up and down it, and then two wings, the outlines of wings, with a brighter ball of white every foot. And it was about, I don't know, 8 or 9 feet tall, and maybe 5 feet with the wingspan in diameter. And they cup down to the center, and it's just hovering there with its wings closed. It opens its wings, it flaps once, it shoots up 100 feet, and it levitates again with its wings enclosed. Does it another time, goes up, stays in place. One more time, then it goes perpendicular, and then it doesn't stop flapping, going east now. And my jaws dropped, right? And at the very tail end, when it was almost out of view, at the very tail end of it, I see a red and green light, which it took me a while to put everything together, because I was dealing with the stress of my marriage. I had other things going on at the time. I had weirdos showing up. This one guy in particular, I knew intimate details, telling me the military was trying to recruit me. Like, all this crazy shit was going on, and I made things worse. I'm just trying to show the amount of stress I was dealing with. I knew I was being followed, and I downloaded this Russian-made app to have my my location pinged off every cell tower I went to, so people couldn't get a read on me, and even my text messages. So my phone couldn't be stingrayed. I don't advise anyone to do that, because if you're not being followed, I guarantee you will be if you download that app. So I had all this going on, and then this crescendo with my wife, and then this angelic encounter, which I know was a really good omen that I had done the right thing. Because I essentially broke up the family unit. It needed to be that night, and the next night, next day I come over, after work, and at night I'm at my sister's, and I lay on my niece's and nephew's trampoline, and there's a dozen bright stars above me. And as you guys know, in Southern California, that's odd, right? You can usually only see maybe a planet and a couple stars with the light pollution.
Right.
They were
right.
super bright, and the one immediately above me, and they're in different spaces away from each other, but all in a central location. But it didn't look like a cohesive. It wasn't like boom, 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 boom. You know what I
Right.
mean? It shuts off I say shut off because it transformed from this big ball of light to a circular, futuristic drone-looking thing with a circular front, a straight edge rear, but a red light in one rear corner, a green light in the other rear corner, and a white light in the center. Hovers for like 3 seconds. They're all completely silent, and then slowly starts flying east where the angel went, and then boom, the next one turned into the same thing, and then the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. So there's a dozen of these just floating over the house, totally silently and slowly. Now, I don't think this is where...
How high above the house?
I would say, so in 737 or 747 is like, if you've ever lived close to an airport and it's coming in for landing and you can see every detail on it.
Okay, yeah.
So like that
pretty close.
What would that be? 600-700 feet, maybe
less than 1,000 feet.
Yeah, less than 1,000 feet. However, I don't believe that the whole neighborhood would have witnessed this. I think that it was just being shown to me. Now, is that holographic in nature? Is it completely consciousness based? I don't know, but it was so massive that there would have been hundreds of reports of this. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you something. From my experiences with unidentified, whatever the hell they are, okay, is that if people don't believe in them or haven't had an experience with them, sometimes they won't see them. All right. I had an experience where a UFO or an orb flew over my house. This is when I lived in El Cajon. Okay. I was with 10 people at my house, right? Half of them saw it, half of them didn't see it. So there's something to say about like your stage of consciousness not only being like affected by that reality. I think part of it's faith a little bit too. But if these things have touched you, you see them all over the place. It's like they can't hide anymore. Whatever was keeping them from being visible is now visible now to you, almost psychically. And I don't know about you. Have you ever experienced any sort of time dilation before your experiences? And because that's something I experienced before I'm encountering an entity.
I absolutely
and something. Yeah. Time slows down. I can literally see dust.
Yep.
Just kind of diagonally, slowly flowing down. And it's anytime that there's one of those entities near me. It feels like anxiety, but it's not anxiety. It's something else. But it definitely feels like, no, it's like primal. Like you're dealing with something that's like you're watching a monkey, like, and it sees a lion and it freaks out, right? It's like he's talking about spidey sense. It's a lot like danger sense, right? And it's like on overdrive. And like when I'm near like something like that, time slows down for me. And I was just, so you do encounter time dilation.
Oh, absolutely. But for me, the time dilation that happened was happening during the day, the days before and after this. It would, there was a big construction site going on next to my sister's house, and all the noises would stop. Everything would stop, and then it would click back on. Then everything would stop for like 30 seconds at a time. I got brought back in time by maybe 15 seconds. I was on the bed. I got off the bed. I went into my father and mother were out there visiting. My father's dead now, but we're out there visiting during this time. And I went out to go speak to my father. I had the conversation, and then I heard this weird noise and this weird bodily sensation. Then boom, I'm back on the bed, and I'm looking around. I'm like, what in the hell just happened? And then I walk back out, and there's my father again, and the same section of the TV, whatever was on. It was like I hadn't been there, but I just literally was there, you know.
Like a time slip of some kind. Like a
yeah,
repeat,
I was having time.
It's like a deja vu, but like hyper deja vu. What do you guys think about that one?
Mr. Batman. Huh?
Yes!
Deja vu. Time slip. Yeah, I believe
Yes! Indeed. Yes. I've had those too. Like all of a sudden, like my first instances when I was real young, I was in, you know how they used to have record stores? Yeah, like a warehouse, right? Where you go buy records and CDs.
Those are only in Japan now. They don't have those
not
in
anymore
America.
here in the United States. But I was at there's a mall called Grossmont Center, La Mesa. It's an outdoor mall, and this is back when they had record stores. And my first experience with, and I'm just having a memory of this because you're talking about it, right? Is I was going to go buy a CD, and all of a sudden I see this couple step in with their kid, like a really young couple or whatever, like, you know, real young, but they have a kid. And I blink, and they're not there. And then about 2 seconds later, that same, like the whole same frame, as if they were coming in like they were the first time I saw it, showed up. And there was like a flash, and that's when it happened. Yeah, it's weird. Should we take a...
So weird.
Go ahead.
It's so weird. I see Dan Schroeder's on there commenting, "Love you, brother. I hope you're feeling better. You guys got to have him on your show sometime, man. That's super interesting."
Absolutely. If you're an alien, an angel, a Bigfoot, or an experiencer, or a researcher, we want you on this show. So, right up there, where it is, right up there. There's the QRL code. Here on the Of Dark Matters podcast.
Hey, MoJoE, remember both you guys when the record stores first came out with the alarms that if you walked through, it would buzz? Well, I didn't know, right? And I was stealing Megadeth P-cells, but who's buying? And I go through and, you know, the dude with the clip-on tie and the mullet grabs me, you know, and he goes, "Megadeth," and he smacks me in the head with it. "Mega stupid."
What do you want to do with your life? I want to rock.
Megadeth, mega stupid. Mullet and a bow tie. Wow, that. You know, I'm going to pump that into a prompt for an image creation on ChatGPT. I just want to see what. That's amazing. What year must have that have been? The P-cells, 1985, 86?
I think it was 85 or 6. So I was a freshman in 89, and I think I was in 6th grade.
Was it clip-on long tie or clip-on bow tie?
No, it was a long tie, clip-on.
Oh, okay.
No one wears bow ties except for Orville Redenbacher and his alien race of buttery popcorn servers. Indeed. It makes you wonder, how did he make a space popcorn? Because he's an alien.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys let me know when you want to take a break. We have a little bit of an interlude break. If you want, we can do that anytime, whenever you're ready.
We can take a quick break, and I can charge up these AirPods while we take a quick break.
Okay.
And,
all right, so this is a little bit of an interlude that we play so that we may use the facilities, so that we can go get our chicken wings and our munchies and sit by our favorite chair from Rooms to Go. So grab your nibbles, ladies and gentlemen. Grab your nibbles. Enjoy the artwork, because some say it is AI slop, but we just call it AI fun. Yeah, we just call it fun. So,
Hey,
without
I
further
ran.
ado, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to be back with John Kiehl kicking ass, and Dank Schroeder, the Dankity Danks. We got to get you on this show. Get you on the show. We will talk UFOs. We will talk. So, for all those that are listening in, we'll be back with the second hour of Dark Matters podcast. Here's our interlude. Do enjoy.
We'll be right back after this short break. Now back to our scheduled program.
Yes, welcome back to the second hour of Dark Matters podcast, where we delve into the strange, the bizarre, the paranormal, the unexpected, the ironic. Yes, our crowd is going wild. As you can see, our live studio audience in this dark corner of the multiverse, a small hidden pocket. You want to see them all? Here you go. As you can see, my best friend Yoda's out there. Yoda, thanks for the force, buddy. We are back with John Kiehl. We also got Dr.Clutch with us. We enjoyed a little bit of a break. For those that are tuning in now and those that are going to listen in later, we have quite the show for you tonight and quite the guest. John Kiehl, master electrician. He's worked on nuclear power plants, rides, all sorts of things with electricity. He's like myself. He's a rocket surgeon, and he doesn't just play one on TV. Isn't that right, John Kiehl? That's right. That's right, sir. Welcome back. This is going to be a kick-ass show. So, okay. So, for those that, are not understanding, like, what Enochian magic is, I'm just going to give them a little bit. Enochian. Okay. Yeah, Enochian. Enochian magic is a Renaissance magic developed by Dr. John Dee and Edward Kelly and adopted by more modern practitioners. The origin of this esoteric tradition are rooted in documented collaborations between John Dee and Kelly, encompassing the revelation of Enochian language, script, which John Dee wrote, which were delivered him by directed by various angels. During mystical interactions, central to the practice is invocation and commanding of various spiritual beings. High magic, for those who don't know what high magic is. High magic, also known as ceremonial magic or ritual magic, refers to a complex, highly structured spiritual practices aimed at self-transformation, spiritual ascension, and communion with the divine. It is heavily contrasted by low magic, which focuses on everyday folklore, folk remedies, and practical mortal desires. And then also he's mentioned the Golden Dawn, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Ordo Hermeticus Oriari. Can't say that, but oh well. Who knows about grammar? Not me. I forget people's names. Sometimes I forget the podcast they had. In the case of Jihan Sator, which I'll never get over. But anyway, Jihan, yeah. See, I had problems. There's some sort of brain damage going on. There's something going on with my Brian. But anyway, with the secret society from Western esoteric tradition, it was heavily based in Rosicrucianism, inspired by Freemasonry. Yes.
Rosicrucianism.
Question is, are you a Freemason? Are you a Freemason, John Kiehl? You a Freemason?
No. Are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Hardly, sir. I personally, you'd say I'm more, I'm a heathen. I'd say I'm a pagan, but I'm also one that like looks into other doctrines and spiritual, spiritualities, that kind of thing. I think my foundation is heathenism, but most of it's neo-paganism, which means new. So the original traditions, the only thing that's left in heathenism is the stories, the sagas, runes, and some artifacts, but most of it's been lost. So it's been attempted to be recreated. No matter how much someone says they're a traditionalist, if it's from modernity, it's usually a recreation in some sort. So let's get everybody up here real quick. We got more videos. We got more talk and discussions. Talking about C5, CE5. Got to stay alive. CE5. Yes.
I do see a video in the queue here that I'm very curious at.
Let's go ahead and play this one. This is one that I think John has been referring to. So here we go. Let's talk about this one right here. What's going on here, John?
Okay. So this was during a CE5, and it's interesting. a lot of these, if you slow, like it's hard to slow down, but there's an Egyptian theme going on here too. Well, when I slowed it down and took still shots, there'll be still shots of Egypt, like that one. That I don't know if you just saw that flash by.
So this is a phone that's possessed or something? Or is
This was during a CE5. I asked for them to send me communication over my phone. Then my Facebook picked up, and this started happening.
So you grabbed another phone to film this
Yes.
phone? Or
Yep.
okay.
I'm about 5 minutes from the beach, and I took it as soon as it started happening, ran up the street and grabbed my daughter's phone and started recording it. What was going on? It was going on for about 15 minutes.
I've never heard of a phone behaving this way.
Yeah, so it's
Can you play that
I don't know
again, Mojo?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah.
We're gonna play it again. Okay, so
I've
here you
seen
go.
something similar. It's happened a few times, but I know they've had similar things, like on the show Skinwalker Ranch, happen to their devices. But it's a at the same time period, I was doing this thing called the Bankston method, which is taking a series of images and flashing them rapidly in front of you. It's like a manifestation technique. And it's interesting that they responded with, it reminded me of that, the way they responded.
Bankston method response.
Yeah, right.
Huh.
But this has happened, 4 or 5 times. And then, like, at the last screen, right? Because I've been, like, trying to say, like, you see one guy's got a mask on, the other guy's got the mask off, right? It's almost like I've been saying, who the hell are you? Like show me who you are. I was broadcasting that as well. And I don't know. One way to look at the last screen that they ended on, I have no idea who those 2 guys are, but this is our mask off, man. And the series of ETs, we're flashing with UFOs. It's one way to look at it.
So after that happened to the phone, did you just like reset the phone or power it off, or like what did you
I had to turn it off. I had to turn it off to get things back to normal. Off and
Do you
on.
still own that phone, or did it?
It's the phone I have right here.
Oh, so you still use it?
Oh yeah, I still use it
Gnarly.
all the time. And
And it's an iPhone, not a Droid. Or...
it's an iPhone. And a common thing that will happen is when I'm watching something or listening to something, even thinking about something, my map signal, I know it sounds mundane, but will start flashing. And it happens religiously, and it's synchronistic. It's been happening to the T. So when I was in Riverside, I had a awake, sitting in a chair, eyes closed, and it's like watching a movie. And I saw a Google Map pin lift up in the air from where I was in Riverside, and then I see it float through the screen, and the maps pans over. It's like watching a movie, and then the Google Map pin dropped into a Joshua tree, and then I see the latitude and longitude, and then I see this mathematical formula appear. And then that same day, I'm scrolling through like time travel, and time and dimensions. I see that mathematical formula, exactly something to do with I might even be able to find it, with time and time travel and dimensions. I take a screenshot of it. 2 weeks later, that's all I did. 2 weeks later, I get a email from Google Maps saying, "Thank you for your contribution, John. Your your picture has been viewed more than 5,000 times, and somehow it got put onto just a screenshot of that mathematical formula onto Google Maps, right? And then
Well, that's weird.
yeah, it was weird. And then about 3 months later, I go to Joshua Tree, and I did bring my phone. I had zero. I went on. It was like Lost Horse Mine Trail or Lost Mine Trail. I think Lost Horse Trail. Anyway, something like that.
Sounds like a Joshua Tree name.
Yeah, and I go hiking. It's getting close to dark. I go off the beaten path, which was a mistake. I almost got lost in the middle of the night in Joshua Tree, which would have sucked. But
Yeah.
dude, not a good idea. So I go hiking up onto this mesa, cliff-like structure, about 150 yards off the path. And I'm doing a CE5. I have zero cell phone reception. Phone kicks on. YouTube, this is like around midnight. I didn't have any orbs appear. A UFO didn't appear. I think this was the only like anomalous thing to happen. But YouTube kicks on and plays Amazing Grace being sung in Cherokee Indian. And then my phone got turned back off to zero reception. Yeah. It was just,
Picks up Amazing Grace. I wouldn't even think to look for that on a YouTube search.
Dude,
were you listening to anything religious or Cherokee on YouTube?
No.
It just found that at random.
Yep. Started playing it. So, you can find it though. It's on there somewhere.
I was never a fan of the song Amazing Grace. I just thought the melody was crap. I don't know. but
it's got an interesting twist with being sung in Cherokee.
Yeah, I bet. Maybe it sounds better. Yeah, probably sounds better in Cherokee. Anything. Sometimes things sound better outside of English.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And then, so the whole Google Maps thing, I don't know. It's kind of like a call sign of sorts. It feels that way. It certainly does.
So do you so are you still like do CE5 still? Do you do Enochian magic or like what do you
Yep. So I after the angelic encounter and like the breakup of my marriage and and all the stuff that I told you that had occurred, with that. I was like, I was shell shocked by all of it. And so I really wanted to ground myself again. I knew that, in my mid-30s, I was really taking care of myself, not only physically, but holistically and spiritually. And I wanted to get back to that. So I did. And I first, like that secret agent man message, I got the book on Enochian magic by John DeSalva. And then I found another book that that I sent you, MoJoE, earlier, and it's based loosely on the Golden Dawn rituals, and it does go through all the Enochian keys, which I did, And
now, is this high magic or like because it says
it's high magic? Does
that mean it's complicated to
perform?
Or?
No. There's well, let me. Can you give me a second?
Yeah, sure.
Grab it.
I presume he's grabbing a book to show us a thing or two.
Indeed.
from the book of Enochian Magic.
Yeah, I have one right here.
Oh, you've got one.
Yes.
Enochian Magic in theory. Yours is in theory. I wonder if his is beyond theory.
That's
So
one of the
this is
many
the-
books I have. This is the book I was just showing them right here. I don't know if you've seen this book. Hold on, I got to make sure that I'm figuring out my my correct
Okay.
right there. It's a thick book, man. Thick.
I don't know if you can see that,
Yeah,
Okay.
but
What's
Kundalini
it
and the
say
Golden
that-
Dawn.
Oh,
The Magus.
so what caught me is the fact that this guy had a Kundalini awakening as well, right?
gnarly. Okay.
And then he incorporated the Golden Dawn techniques. You know, I think he did join an order and you know, went through the whole process and then realized, you know, like many of us do, that you don't have to belong to a club to do this stuff. So I started using the rituals, you know, based upon the Golden Dawn, and then have added and tweaked them a little bit to things that feel right. But it's and I've gone through the Enochian keys, and this guy, you know, like he warns people that they're, you know, very powerful and not to jump ahead and you know, to doing, you know, right into Enochian magic. But so I worked my way there. However, for me, the high magic really is a way to kind of like it helps me ground, the stay grounded, and it's like it's part of my spiritual armor, and it also is like a garbage disposal, right, of bad energy that I pick up, and it helps, you know, much like the Kundalini itself, banish it. But while I'm doing the rituals, the Kundalini will come through me, and like, you know, I have to roll with it, but it helps ground it. And to be quite honest with you, even saying the for me, doing the rosary or another mantra seems to have, if not the same effect, even more powerful. But that is why I do it, and I also really wanted to explore the magical rituals more clearly, based upon what I visibly saw, you know, on the radio. It's like following the breadcrumbs, right? You know, and there was a period of time when I was out there too that I remember 3 different people, and once again, I don't think anyone else would have seen this, but that I'd be walking by would turn around to me and do this. You know, like that.
Isn't that a what are they, when they said that's a Masonic sign? They've got those hand gestures they make.
Yeah, I think, but for like the Golden Dawn, it's the sign of the I believe at the entering apprentice.
Oh, interesting.
Right. So it's I think that these things, you can be, you know, quote unquote recruited to start using magic by the powers that be, right? But I think it's for me the high magic especially was a way to was just to center myself and give everything that I've been going through a direction, you know. So you know, interestingly enough,
the purpose is directional and also sort of a garbage disposal.
Yeah,
Get rid of bad energy.
yeah, absolutely. And you know what's really interesting, you guys, is the missing general. I don't know if you guys saw that in New Mexico. That he had the night before had a meeting with the Department of Defense, and this guy was has worked on crash retrieval.
William Neal
Crash retrieval programs.
McCaslin.
Yes,
General
yes.
He went missing from
he's been
Albuquerque
missing,
on February 27th.
But what he alluded to was the fact that they believed that UFOs were being created, at least a segment of them, by people in another dimension doing magical rituals. Isn't that wild?
Actually, that's been a trend in ufology for at least a few months anyway, where people are saying these UFOs aren't from outer space, other planets. They're not. Like, what if they're from other dimensions, or from Earth, or from the ocean, or whatever?
Yeah.
No, they've also had books in the past. Have you ever heard of the secret cipher of the UFO knots?
Secret cipher of what?
Yeah, it was written by an occultist. Let me see if I can find that book. But there's a series of occult UFO books, of like from basically like a UFO counterculture in the early experimentations.
Book by
probably
Alan
going back.
Greenfield.
Yes, Alan
Secret
Greenfield. Yes, and the secret cipher of the UFO knots, and then there's the secret rituals of the Men in Black, and a whole series about this stuff. But it even goes back to Aleister Crowley having an experience with encountering an alien. I believe it was in one of the pyramids of Giza. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And the creature, whatever it looks like, resembles a gray. It resembles a gray.
It's like its name was like one syllable, right? Like Zeb or
something like that. We can look it up though. We've got
Zed's
Wolfman,
dead, baby. Zed's dead.
We've got the best of Wolfman Jack technology here. We can look it up for you. Yes, yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah.
AWAS. Yeah.
So the
AWAS. Yeah. That's the guy.
General.
Yeah, Dank Schroeder knows what he's talking. He's getting danky with us. Getting some danky with some dank information.
So
Yes.
William Neal McCaslin, he vanished on foot while his wife was at a medical appointment. He left behind his phone and wearable devices, but he took his wallet and a .38 caliber revolver. Huh.
And just prior
And
to
his
that, so there was
whereabouts
a
are
recent
still
phone
unknown.
call. There was a recent phone call with one of his friends, basically like was reporting to the police like some information, and she went to dinner with him and members of Space Force, and apparently he wasn't looking all that comfortable, little constipated, little under the weather.
Who is this?
Just the day
McCaslin,
before
or-
he
Yeah.
disappeared.
Oh,
Yep.
So
They
he was,
just released the short of that. So he apparently was meeting with Space Force, which is weird. Have you guys heard of the theory that just came out by Casper site that aliens.gov isn't really about aliens?
It's about illegal aliens.
It's about illegal aliens. They're using this whole thing as a psychological operation. Everybody, just watch. That it's actually about illegal aliens. It's not about aliens at all. That's why all the photo, they don't care if it's blurry. It's not for us. It's not for us. It's for those normies out there in the Matrix to think, oh, wow, look over here, while everything else is going cuckoo bananas. Yeah. He did an in-depth and even played some of the samples within this strange video where it looks like someone's running on the sand. Appears to be some sort of bald-headed humanoid with lights in the background and strange noises. But instead, it's not about aliens, everybody. It's about illegal aliens. Yes, it is.
It's certainly about diverting.
I don't know.
Yeah, diverting. It's a shell game. It's a shell game. Everything's a
Maybe
shell
they'll
game.
just-
The whole world's a stage.
Maybe they'll pivot back and forth. Maybe it'll go back to regular aliens.
I
Or
hope
maybe
so.
it'll just be a placeholder for.
But nobody
forever,
here
and
really
they won't
cares if
develop
the
it.
government. I don't think nobody here cares if the government says it's true or not true, because we've all had weird experiences, right? So, I mean, obviously our truth has been shown to us. And the more and more we go deeper into this so-called disclosure, I'm feeling like it's one giant beer ad for Steven Spielberg's movie coming out. I don't know about you guys.
Right.
That would be kind of sick, and not in like the Gen Z usage of the word, but like disgusting, as if it's like a beer ad for Spielberg. Like it's all like, that'd be disgusting. Actually, speaking of using government and commercial stuff, I guess on Coronado Island here in San Diego, like on the military side of the island, which apparently the military side of that island is all man-made. Like it wasn't part of the original island. They just kind of moved a bunch of rocks over there. Anyhow, they're having a NASCAR event on the military base, and I was like, how does NASCAR just like call up, you know, the Coronado, or does it work the other way around, where the military decides they like NASCAR and they want to have a race on their fucking island? Like,
I think with the way everything's going right now, they're looking to save face in any way they can. Okay, and I made this prediction. I'm like, what if it's just metaphor? What if these alien things are just metaphor for the people lining up at the border? It came to me, and the prediction came true. It did, and the crowd likes that one. They sure do. They do. They love that one, aren't you? You're loving that one. Yes, they do. They love that one. You laid on the clap in there. Yeah,
so if I go to alien.gov, if you type in alien.gov, it goes to whitehouse.gov/aliens, and then it says they walk among us, is what it says. And then it will say, for 60 years, the government has kept a closely guarded secret. Aliens have been walking among us, living in our neighborhoods and interacting with us in our daily lives. Well, this is true about illegal aliens. They have shopped in the same stores, attended the same classes as our children, and lived seemingly normal human existences. With one exception, they do not belong here. Millions arrived under the cover of darkness and embedded themselves directly into our society. Countless presidents, congressmen, and senior officials knew exactly what was happening. Instead of protecting American citizens, they chose to cover it up and even accelerate the invasion. Until one man finally had to... Oh, Jesus.
Just kidding.
It's
It's marketing genius!
Bold,
Yes.
unapologetic, unafraid. President douche nozzle Trump was the first to call out the real danger aliens pose to every American family, every community, and the future of our nation. The truth is no longer out there. It is right here, right now. This is top secret. Scroll to continue, and then 3129620 encounters. So that's like 3,129,624 encounters. It's just like an alien arrest map live. Total arrests, dates of arrests. Yeah, so here it is.
Too good to
Criminal
be
charges,
true. If
assault,
it's too good to
burglary.
be true.
So you're right. You're right. This is all about illegal aliens. So this is assault, arson.
It's almost like making fun of the UFO
burglary.
community too. It's really like
I'm a
little offended, but like I said, I don't care as much. But I'm a
and
little
these
offended.
encounters are about like the illegal aliens you've encountered. This is annoying as fuck and disgusting. Yeah, that's
Super hokey.
I haven't hated Trump even more yet today until I read this. Okay.
Yeah. There you go, bro. There you go.
Well, that
there you
just
go.
kinda-
There's a
well,
little
at
bit
least
for your.
Tulsi
There's a little bit of
Gabbard
hot
is
chocolate for you. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, but I thought I'd bring that in. I know it's a little. We don't like. sometimes we get a little political on this show. And so we got to share what's going on in the world. I mean, it's just a part of our world, right? This is why I look forward to going out to the woods, not having a phone.
You know what's interesting is with when we were talking about CE5 and stuff like that, I'm willing to bet it seems like this has been going on since the dawn of man, and there's probably even tribes in Central America with without internet access, like their shamans are out there having CE5. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
they're watching their favorite sitcom in the fire. Right?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
I think it's not like a new thing. I think this has been going on for ages, and
so it's new to us, but
well, I can tell you this: I've always thought that what Greer did, I'm not totally a fan of Greer. I am a fan of Greer of some of the stuff he's done, but I've also been very critical of him. And one of them that I'm critical of is that, to me, it seems like streamlined ritual magic, right? You get a group of people, you go out there and meditate in the woods, you think about them coming. It's the same as like evocation, invocation to me, in a way. It's what it feels like. And so what you've done is kind of integrated that already into that experience, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's watch another video. We haven't gotten through all the videos. We might be going a little bit over here, Clutch, unless...
Okay.
Okay, so let's watch this video. This is from John Kiehl. We're going to check this. This one is called Video 3, because I couldn't give the titles and the dates, so you're going to have to tell me what's going on here. Here we go.
Hopefully I didn't put one in with my girlfriend. Okay, let me see it.
Boom.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, so that so to someone who's looked like a shooting star, right?
Right.
Okay. The thing is this is where it gets tricky, is no matter where you pan on that segment, it'll be like a dramatic. If it's gonna look like a shooting star, it'll be dramatized, like one of the biggest shooting stars you've ever seen, but exactly where you're panned in on. You follow me? If that makes sense. So, once again, are you being shown a holographic display of what's being capable? Is it the universe winking at you? Is it just unbelievable synchronicity? Or is it, an angelic orb going through hyperspeed and leaving a trail? Or
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Just be a shooting star.
I think it's a little bit of everything, brother.
It happens so often that in the community, people call them streakers. I see that. Like Dan says, they always know exactly where you're focused on. Absolutely. I just wanted to say hi to Stephen out there. Stephen Kastner's helping me. He's an unbelievable writer. He's helping me put things on paper. So eventually we'll have a book coming out. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Very
Thanks,
nice.
Well, we'll debut it here for you, John Kiehl. We'll get everyone together in one giant panel cluster. Just to make it happen. Just make a paranormal cereal. Like a paranormal Fruit Loops for everybody. Lucky Charms, yes.
So,
Yes.
video 4. What's video 4?
Let's take a look at video 4 here. This is, and then John can tell us what's going on here. There we go.
There's another blinking one.
Yep.
It, faded out.
Yeah.
Like a star that
quick
was there
one.
and disappeared.
Yeah, that was just a quick one. On the channel, like I said, there's ones that I have like 25 minutes just staying in one spot. And here's the trick, though. If anyone wants to do this, And if you want to rule out all the Starlink and satellite flare-ups and all of the jazz that's out there, because it can be confusing, right? That there's rocket bodies. You go 2.5 to 3 hours after sundown, so the sun's zenith. It's not going to create those flare-ups, right? So essentially, say in the wintertime, if you're out at 11 p.m. on the East Coast, you are well beyond that. In the beginning, I would use satellite tracking software to because I never ever want to just post anything that I haven't vetted. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not into that just because it looks like it might be something that it is something. I don't do that. You know, you could look at the ISS and it will look really cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that these things, they can resemble a satellite flaring up, but satellites don't move the way these orbs do, and they don't repeatedly pulsate this energy, you know. And I've shown my videos to. I've got a buddy of mine that flies F-35s, and you know, what more trained eyes can you get? And through and through, he's like, I don't know what the hell that is, you know. Right? So I've been very careful with that, and I've also had more, you know, close. I've had the black triangle followed 5 minutes later by a boomerang inverted with little starlights all over the wings. So it looked like semi-camouflaged, you know, and that same night I'm in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods. The guy comes out of the woods, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm explaining to him, I'm doing this. I explained CE5 and what I'm doing. And he goes, "Those aren't your friends." He goes, "Friends do this." He opens up a wallet full of cash, and I'm just, the guy's probably 65. I'm like, who the hell is this guy, you know? He goes, and by the way, he goes, I died right over there. Right? And he points to a spot. Yeah, like, you know, 25 feet away. And at this point, I'm just like, you know, I'm looking around, I'm kind of backing up, and then he sticks his hand out for me to shake it. And I wanted to, I couldn't walk away without shaking his hand. I needed to feel it. Sure as shit. Physical hand, you know, and then the guy just walks away. You know, he's like, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be concentrating on your marriage. I think is what he said to me. I'm like, what? You know, right? So
but he offered you cash, or
he didn't offer it to me. He said, those aren't your friends. He goes, friends do this. And he opened up
friends
his
offer you
cash. So
I don't know. I think if you're offered cash by a friend, your friend might be trying to leverage the friendship.
Exactly. Very good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
And with like the time dilation that you were bringing up, and I didn't mean to cut you out there, Clutch. I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
I know we're getting off here shortly. I just wanted to say that when you're doing CE5 or you know, you're in this trance, invoking, you know, sometimes it'll appear like you can see black smoke, even like a weird misty black smoke, and in your peripheral vision, I'll see scintillating lights and shadows moving, like some sort of, you know, bipedal humanoid is walking around me. You'll see that in your peripheral vision, which is interesting.
Yeah, we got another video here. This is what I dubbed video 5. Let's take a look at video 5. Boom. So what are we looking at here, my friend?
I'm sure there's going to be an orb here somewhere. Yeah. So I think what happened is it started in the right-hand corner where the people are talking.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. I think it's right there. I see something
Oh, I
moving
see
up.
something blinking.
Yeah,
and then I
think-
and then I come in on it, and then I
There it is. It's a very small corner right there. Unfortunately,
yep, there
Oh,
you
there.
go. It just goes
There-
again. Yeah,
there it goes.
that was a
Okay.
recent one. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Wow. I tried to get all the stuff that was really recent there for you because I wanted to share what you've been capturing, man. And this
Yeah. The very last one I posted on the channel is one that was an unbelievable flare up that it came. That's an orb, yeah, and even if you pan way in on it, you're not going to see any when the light's out. You see nothing but space. You know what I mean?
So we're doing video 5. Let's see if what this is. I wonder if it's the same thing. I think it may be the same one. Let's just double check it.
Video 5?
That's the same one. Let's remove
Yeah.
that one. Let's go to the next one, which is 6, because I can't count nor pronounce people's name because I got brain damage. So here we go. Drain Bramage. Okay, so video 6. Here we go. We're gonna do video 6 at the stage. Okay.
Oh, here we go. This is a good one. So this is the other night. This really was big.
Oh, that's
Wow.
interesting.
And you see what I'm talking about, much like the shooting stars. That's on my tripod. I'm not moving that. That's specifically where I'm zenning in on for the 20 minutes I'm out there.
So that thing just got huge and like got small.
Yep.
That's interesting. Like that's, I can't say I've seen that before. Like I've seen like the shooting star stuff. I've seen stuff blink or wink.
Yep.
But I haven't seen anything like get bigger and then smaller.
Yeah. They call that a power up. However,
Yeah.
Power up and power down.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this is what I like. Like I tell all the people who've ever had a cryptid or UFO experience, if you can remember to break out your camera, you got proof. And even if you got something on your property that keeps showing up, then you might want to put some ring cameras up and document it because I wish I had a camera at times for some of the experiences I've had and I could share them, but all I got is the stories, and then the people that were with me can only verify it. But, yeah, this is fascinating, man. Thank you so much. This he's got a lot of videos, and like for those who want to check out your videos, where can they find them on YouTube? What is the name of your page?
Yeah. Broken Chains Human Initiated Contact Group.
Broken Chains Human Initiated Contact Group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, should we keep going? Do we have anything else that we'd like to discuss here? Any share and tells? Should we go to plugs? What should we do? Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, we are at the going a little bit long today.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't mind. I mean, but we can end it if we want to. I mean, but we can always have Mr. Kiehl come back on and show us some more stuff. I'm sure there's going to be a continuous stream of interesting extraterrestrial or angelic experiences here.
Let's wrap up with this question, John. Where are you going now with your CE5 and Enochian magic? What's the what do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, maybe not in the interview questions sense, but what is the plan? Do you have it sounds like you're working on a book and you just getting more videos, or what do you where are you going with all this?
Thanks. That's a great question. I am following the breadcrumbs, man. I'm hoping that guys drop in my family around the rightful age of 70. So,
Oh gosh.
I'm trying to, I've already, burnt out my, at least 11 of my 13 lives. So I'm making this my best run yet, man. And I hope to have, much more close encounters with the phenomenon. It's addictive, but in a very, very healthy, good way. I'd much rather be out there doing this than watching the sports
Spider-Man Noir.
Well,
Spider-Man Noir. Yes. That sounds way better than Spider-Man Noir. Way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! But yeah, man, that's it, dude. I've got my youngest is just graduated high school.
Oh god.
I've got a girlfriend that lives a mile down the street with her own place and no kids, and I'll never tie the knot again. Well, I hope she's not listening, but she knows I love her. She doesn't want to get married yet anyway. It's if it's not broken, don't fix it. I love doing my thing, and she loves doing her thing, and where it goes, man, we'll see.
Well, why don't we do some plugs?
All right.
This is where we shamelessly plug ourselves and talk about how great we are and how you can listen to our music and different things. Okay, so let's turn up the plug music. Here we go.
All right, shall I go first?
Yes, sir. Let me turn down the plug music a little bit so it doesn't overpower you. And we'll start with you, Dr. Clutch. Take it away.
Okay, I'll plug John Kiehl's YouTube channel. What is it called? Broken Chains.
Human Initiated Contact Group. Yeah.
Broken Chains Human Initiated Contact Group on YouTube. I'd also like to plug Tugalari Mold Begone stuff for your shower. If you need to make your white tile look white again, buy that stuff on Amazon or wherever else. Some people just don't like Amazon. Get it at Lowe's. What else would I plug? My Substack, Dr.Clutch.substack.com, MoJoE the Mad's Suno.com channel for such great hits, gothic hits like Cheesecake and Razor Blades, and dance hits such as Eat My Balls. Anything else to promote? I think that's what I'll plug for this week. What do you have, Mr. Kiehl?
Yes, let's get John Kiehl. What do you got to plug, sir? Plug away.
Oh wow. Once again, man, I'll put in a plug for Danny Schroeder. You guys to have him on. He's got some really cool tales, and it's for your show, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on. I've done like 4 or 5 of these. I've had the most fun with you guys, and
Awesome.
I really, really appreciate it, and yeah, man.
Very cool.
Of Dark Matters podcast. Let's do it.
Sweet.
Heck yeah. Well, this has been the Of Dark Matters podcast with Mr. John Kiehl. Mr. John Kiehl, the door's always open. You want to come on the show? It's like, all right, let's book it. Anybody wants to come on the show, we will book you. We will book you to our show. I am MoJoE the Mad, MoJoE the Sane, MoJoE the Unsane, MoJoE. That's me. And I run this show every Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. And, I would like to thank everyone's here. Dank Schroeder. Who else is here? Let's take a look at our chat. See who showed
Osmond
up.
was
South
here for a
Osmond.
moment.
South Osmond, the myth, the legend. Stephen Kastner. Yes, let's see what else is here. Kyniston 1474. Yes. Yes. God, yes. No, only one unfortunate schmelting accident that happened was that our intro didn't play on time. So I'm kind of happy about that. Yeah. Yeah, this dad tech mind right now is starting to figure it out. I used to be really peppy in my step, but now it seems like I gotta have a learning curve. Okay, but anyway, you can find me on Facebook under MoJoE the Mad and on Substack under the MoJoE the Mad. You can find our previous podcasts that were on Podbeam that have been collected on our Substack under Of Dark Matters. We got to figure out a way to get those out there, put up on our YouTube page, because if you didn't record it, take a picture of it, it didn't happen. But yes, we did have a show previous to this. You can find me, my old music on SoundCloud under MoJoE the Mad and the Drama Llama Ding Dongs, where you can find not only the band that I was in, the Drama Llama Ding Dongs, but other acts, other electronic music, ads, skits that I've done. And I used to be on the podcast with Clutch, which is also on a previous podcast, which was called Please Stand By, where Clutch was the host and I was his Ed McMahon. And then,
Ed McMahon.
the myth, the legend of Two in the Same Boat, which used to be my show, but it's only small fragments on MoJoE the Man, Drama Llama Ding Dongs. Find me on YouTube here under this show now, or under the band, where you can find videos of me playing music and acting like a fool. Let's see here. I wanna plug Hot Pot Pho. This place got the best Vietnamese food next to Vien Dong, which is another fun place. I'm going to go ahead and mention that. If you're in the Spokane area and you love Asian food, go to those places. They are great. The service is fantastic. I want to plug, be nice to one another. We're going to need all the help we can get with what's coming. Hopefully it's not so bad. Hopefully it's... we get a little bit of prep time, a little bit of Vaseline before it starts to get really hard.
Vaseline, yes.
You know? I mean, that's all I can hope for. At least kiss me. Ha-ha!
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was a great show. We'd love to have you again. Okay, once again, I would like to say, if you have had a ghost encounter, a cryptid encounter, a UFO encounter, if you're a researcher, if you're a exorcist, we'll have you on the show. If you're a voodoo priest, we'll have you on the show. Yes. If you're
Richie the
right
Barber,
hand,
or
left hand
Minaj.
path, we'll have you on here. We'll give everyone the ability to speak their mind and tell the truth, as long as it is civil. Because as long as we have the ability to have free speech, we should be able to speak our minds, regardless of what it is, even if the truth hurts, right? And that's what we're about here at the Of Dark Matters podcast. You know, we've had to evolve, regroup, come back, but like for those that are listening in, or that will be not listening in, but watching and listening, either now live or later on. We appreciate you watching our show. You know, you have plenty of other podcasts you can go on. And if anyone can help me with my Substack, I just need 5 people and we can go live there. The more people that we get to subscribe to our show, comment in the comment section, the more people we get on the show, we can start moving away from YouTube, which has got a lot of restrictions. We like to go to places like Odyssey and Rumble and all those places. It's not about the money, it's about having a good show. And what we need to do is, if we can do that, that would be great, but I'm not begging. I'm just begging! No, just kidding. Just begging, you know. But anyway, much love to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful night, wonderful week. We will be back on the air next week with the return of the Ghost Theorist. He's going to be coming back on as a special guest host. Yes. And we'll be talking about the news that we missed, because there hasn't been a lot of active psychological operations going on that we can keep up with that don't seem to be the same ones that keep going on. Stay sane. Stay alive. Stay smart. Stay aware. All right. So for all those that are listening in, right here, you can see our QRL code. You can go to listen to our past shows. Did you know that we did a whole episode where I was a pirate? I bet you didn't know that.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, where I was a caveman. We did a whole show where we were going back in time. Please listen to those shows.
Long show.
Yeah, it was a great show. It was a great show. You know how hard it is to speak in broken English? Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah. But for all those listening in, thank you so much. This has been the Of Dark Matters podcast. And thank you and good night.
Thank you.
All of us here at the Of Dark Matters podcast would like to thank all of our listeners that tune in to us every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening and good night. This has been a production of Mojo Mojito Production.